A powerful lineup of speakers, curated B2B matchmaking and deal decks, global innovation forums, startup showcases, followed by evening galas and cultural experiences. Pagariya JBN Power Conclave was not just a conclave. It was the beginning of a new chapter in the legacy of the JITO International Trade Organization, or JITO. Hosted by JITO International and JITO Chennai Plus in the captivating city of Colombo, Sri Lanka, the conclave set the stage for a high-level dialogue and collaboration aimed at powering a smarter, cleaner and a more secure tomorrow.
अच्छे स्पीकर्स थे, अच्छे लीडर्स आए और पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है कि 2-2, 3-3 दिन सारे बड़े बड़े बिजनेसमैन जैन फैमिली के भी यहाँ रुक रहे हैं और बहुत अच्छा टेक अवे मिल रहा है. मतलब आज सवेरे एक छोटा सा प्रोग्राम हुआ था कि ब्रेकफास्ट विद सम पीपल, उसमें कुछ लीडर्स या कुछ बिजनेस जिस एक्सपीरियंस लोगों के साथ 10-15 यंग बच्चे या यंग लोग मिले, बैठे, बात किए. तो एक इसमें ऐसा जीतो में ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि सब सिर्फ गिवर्स है, हर आदमी टेकर और गिवर बनता है यहाँ. जैसे आज मैं 10 लोगों के साथ बैठा तो मुझे कुछ बच्चों से सीखने को मुझे भी मिला है. एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव था और ये बहुत अच्छी तरह से प्लान हुआ. इतनी खूबसूरत कोलंबो जैसी जगह पे कुछ बहुत अच्छा लगा इस इवेंट.
JITO is a global body of visionary Jain industrialists, entrepreneurs, professionals and thought leaders who are committed to socio-economic and educational empowerment. This conclave brought together JITO's chief patrons and elite global business leaders, both from the Jain community and outside it, whose insights and leadership added gravitas to the occasion.
So today, more than 630 entrepreneurs from different parts of country came together under one roof. They are sitting and they are doing brainstorming. We have called so many good speakers like Mr. Ghosh, who has a success story of Indigo, Akasa, Oyo, lot of things. So this is a learning process, and that why we brought everybody here, that if they carry and there is some takeaway from this kind of conclave. Otherwise, it is not an entertainment event, okay? It is a business event, and 630 person investing 3 days in Sri Lanka is not a small achievement. And I believe that in this conclave, lot of people will learn lot of things to improve their business, to expand their business, or networking. By networking, well, I believe networking is a network in today's world. So if you know the people, and by this kind of environment, the basic trust can be formed.
For people, it is JITO Business Network. For me, it is a platform जहाँ से billionaires निकलेंगे. I have seen lot of my Jain brothers have the growth story of them after joining JITO. One such example is Anil Jain, and there are many such examples. After JITO, they have grown leaps and bounds. So I always believe this JBN should be changed from JITO Business Network to a platform where जहाँ से billionaires निकलेंगे. Because the real essence is only network is only the net worth. If you have a network today, so automatically business will happen, automatically collaborations will happen, and there is always key. If today you are my friend, tomorrow you may be my co-investor, tomorrow you may be my partner, tomorrow you may subscribe my IPO. If network is not there, then there is, I always take it, network is the net worth.
JITO's mission is to bring together entrepreneurs, professionals and visionaries from the Jain community, not just for business, but for a greater good. The aim is to build livelihoods, Arthik Sudhar, to light minds through education, Shiksha, and to serve with heart, Seva. The organization believes that true progress lies in empowering others as they rise.
So Central Civil Services, JITO has a one vertical called JATF, JITO Administrative Training Foundation, and the objective of JATF is to bring the intelligent children who want to study but they don't have conducive atmosphere or capability or ability or financial support, or so we take out from all over the country the good student and bring them to our JITO hostel in the Carol Bagh in Delhi, where we have a huge hostel of 285 students. And I am very happy to tell you that under the JITO and JATF platform, till today, we have already made 315 IAS, IRS and IPS officers.
Why are we doing this? Is because, I mean, every community needs to, like, it's like family, you need to take care of your family first. And if your family is well. I mean, they're doing well. I mean, we are able to extend that support to the outside, right? So in JITO, we believe that we need to first bring Jains on this platform, because JITO is not for only Jains. JITO is for Jeevan.
So this time we had representation from almost 7 countries. There are people, 2-3 people from each of these countries who have come, basically trying to learn as to what are these global conferences. International chapters have been quite a recent one. We are only 6-year-old international, though we've been there for almost 15 years, but I think last 6 years has been a very active international role we have played, where we have tried to see how people living all over the world can benefit from India's growing economy. I think our focus has been helping the Jain community or people there come back and do business in India, or do business with India, or do business from India. That's been our motto. We have a very large international conference which is coming up in October in Bali, which is going to, Indonesian chapter is going to host that, and we have close to about 40 people from 40 countries, close to about 400 people are going to be there for a larger conference.
Led by a legacy of visionaries, JITO also embraces the spirit of youth. It recognizes the youth not just as leaders of tomorrow, but as active architects of today's progress.
Yeah, so we have a division called JITO Youth, right? Where all the youth are also a member. There's a separate division, wing. It's called Youth Wing, JITO Youth Wing, right? Where there's youth from right from the age of 18 years till 32 years. They are part of that. So we help them conduct their own events, where again, knowledge sharing, because they are just beginning their, let's say, journey of the career of life. So whatever are relevant for that age, those kind of events and programs are undertaken by the youth. Yeah, but I think youth is the future, and we at JITO are very mindful of that.
Hi, I'm Virakti Jain. I'm the youngest chief patron member of JITO's family. I'm an undergraduate student at Boston University, USA. And talking about JBN Power Conclave, it has been amazing experience to be here, being able to connect with inspiring leaders, network with them, and yeah, obviously learn from everyone's journey. It's so motivating to be here at such an energetic platform.
The 2025 conclave wasn't limited to youth alone. It equally emphasized the empowerment and active participation of women. Symbolizing JITO's belief in this philosophy is the strong and growing presence of women within the organization.
So we have formed the JITO Ladies Wing, and today more than 18 to 19,000 women have already joined this movement. Bringing women together is a really movement, and we are very happy that our ladies wing is growing faster than the men's wing.
The 3-day JBN Power Conclave started on August 15th with an inaugural session with Lieutenant General Satish Dua. The thought-provoking conversation with Lieutenant General Dua was on the theme Bravery and Business, Warrior's Spirit, Leader's Mind.
It can't be a bigger honor, or maybe the honor of the highest accord, that on the 79th Independence Day, as we celebrate, we have none other than Lieutenant General Satish Dua with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
During your service in Kashmir, you initiated a fantastic, maybe it's a fantastic initiative the other way around, where from a business parallels, if I have to draw it, you thought the world that, look, your foes or your critics can sometimes become your friends in helping you achieve your objective. And this was seen through the Ikwan initiative that you had rolled out, and subsequently the Rashtriya Rifles. And one more thing, that you also started the youth hangout spots in Kashmir during evenings where youths could collaborate. Now, what is the business learning that we get out of this entire exercise of collaborating with your foes and the critics?
It may not be possible to correlate everything exactly, but you can always draw your own lessons and analogies. To expand, जो इन्होंने कहा कि हमने एक फोर्स बनाई थी इखवान की, सरेंडर टेररिस्ट जो थे उनको हमने मिला लिया अपने फोर्स में, उनकी एक इखवान नाम की फोर्स बनाई और बाद में एक बटालियन बनाई, और वो टेररिस्ट, क्योंकि वो टेररिस्ट के तरीके जानते थे, वो हमारे को टेररिस्ट के बारे में बताते थे, हमारे साथ ऑपरेशंस में जाते थे, और हमारे काफ़ी कामयाबियां हुई उनकी वजह से. we all actually gained from them, जो हमारे एडवर्सरी थे. इसी प्रकार हमने दूसरा एक चिनार नौजवान क्लब बनाए जो गुमराह यूथ हैं, या जैसे वहाँ पे जो लोग हैं आजकल हमारे आपके बच्चे जो होते हैं वो शाम को जाते हैं किसी क्लब में, किसी पब में, या कुछ टेनिस खेलने, या जो भी उनकी दोस्तियां आपस में सर्कल में होता है वो करते हैं. कश्मीर में मैंने देखा कि बच्चे गांव में खास तौर पे उनको कुछ करने को नहीं था शाम को, तो वो इकट्ठे बैठेंगे तो रेडिकलाइज होंगे. उनको कोई ना कोई बात करेगा तो मजहब के नाम पे उनको रेडिकलाइज करते हैं देश के खिलाफ. तो आई डिसाइडेड टू मेक समथिंग कॉल्ड चिनार नौजवान क्लब्स. तो चिनार नौजवान क्लब क्या थे, छोटा सा क्लब बना दिया जहाँ पे इंटरनेट वाला टीवी, कुछ किताबें, कुछ गेम्स, एक जिम्नेजियम, वॉलीबॉल खेलना, ऐसे टाइप की फैसिलिटीज दे दी ताकि जो यंगस्टर्स हैं, जैसे आजकल कहते हैं टू हैंग आउट, दे नीड टू हैंग आउट समवेयर, तो उनको कोई जगह मिलती थी हैंग आउट करने के लिए. और धीरे धीरे उस कंपनी कमांडर के साथ उनकी दोस्ती हो जाती थी. वो टेलीफोन नंबर अपने लिखते थे, एंट्री करते थे, तो उससे एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना के उनको हम रेडिकलाइजेशन के खिलाफ अच्छी खबरें, चाहे वो मौसम की हो, चाहे कोई बातचीत हो, या गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम हो, उसके बारे में देते थे. मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि हमने सरेंडर टेररिस्ट को एक तरफ मिलाया अपने साथ, दूसरी तरफ उन बच्चों को जो शायद गुमराह हो सकते थे उनको पहले से ही प्रीएम्प्टिव तरीके से अपने साथ मिलाने की कोशिश की. तो मेरे ख्याल से हाउ कैन द बिजनेस sort of gain from this models is, one, you need to spot something. आपको ये आइडेंटिफाई करना जरूरी है कि इस चीज से प्रॉब्लम आएगी. अगर आपकी आज एआई से, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बढ़ जाने से, रोबोटिक्स और ऐसे टूल्स जो आ रहे हैं, ड्रोन्स बढ़ जाने से, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी शायद आपको कुछ लोगों को ले ऑफ करना पड़े, तो आपको पहले से उसके खिलाफ प्लानिंग करनी पड़ेगी, लोगों को सेंसिटाइज करना पड़ेगा. जैसे हमने उन चिनार नौजवान क्लब में बच्चों को सेंसिटाइज किया. अगर आपको लगता है कि कोई ऐसी चीज है जो प्रॉब्लम बनने वाली है, जैसे हमने उन बच्चों को मिलाया, आपको शायद उनको पहले मिलाना पड़ेगा. जैसे मान लीजिए आपकी कोई यूनियन की ट्रबल्स हैं या एचआर इश्यूज हैं, तो यू विल हैव टू डील विद दैट फर्स्ट. सो आई डोंट हैव एग्जैक्ट आंसर्स, पर होगा कि एसेंशियली यू नीड टू लर्न. आई थिंक बिजनेस, इंडस्ट्रियल हाउसेस, एवेंचुअली हर एक का ये एचआर इश्यूज हैं बेसिकली, एंड यू नीड टू बी एबल टू इवॉल्व विद टाइम्स and find your own solutions.
There's a song which I always heard, and I'm sure everyone in this hall has heard this. आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले, जहां गम भी ना हो, जहां आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले. Is this song justifiable for our future generations, where terrorism will end and only love will flourish?
The short answer is no. वो फिल्म है और फिल्म का गाना है. Film gives us, Bollywood movies or all movies, Hollywood movie, all movies give us escapism from the reality. Reality में कि जहाँ गम भी ना हो, जहाँ खुशी खुशी हो, वो reality नहीं आने वाली. उसके लिए हमें बहुत struggle करना पड़ता है. Human egos, national conflicts, conflict of interest, ये चीजें, those are the realities.
Where India's most powerful minds meet the world. With this is the theme. This historic first ever 3-day conclave saw the participation of renowned names from across government, policy, business, influencers, social cause advocates, and entertainment. With a powerful lineup of speakers, the topics of conversations were diverse and varied. One of the most anticipated sessions was a keynote session by Aditya Ghosh, the co-founder of Akasa Air, on Udan, lessons in operational excellence, getting small things right to make big impact.
So I grew up, as I say, I'm a child of socialist India. I was 16 years old when India liberalized. So I was actually about 15 years old or so when this picture was probably taken. And this was like the impression that India was close to the Soviet Union. We're a welfare socialist state. So that kind of determined a lot of things. And while there is, I'll say that today there's a lot of criticism for that era, I also learned a lot from it. And one of those things that I learned was empathy, and trying to keep the last person in the room in mind when you're taking decisions. And that is something that you will see repeatedly as a theme when I talk. Now, I actually had a sort of an unusual flight path. I've never been to business school. I have not studied commerce. I've never done accounting in my life. I actually did science in class 11 and 12. I did history in my undergrad. I then became a lawyer. I was a corporate lawyer when I got involved in starting Indigo. So I've had a very unusual flight path. And not just that, while I was part of the founding team at Indigo, the time that I took on the role as the president, we used to call it, of Indigo, I was just under 33 years old, never run a business in my life before. But more importantly, I also had crazy circumstances in which I took on that role. The world had just entered the deepest financial crisis in 2008. Lehman Brothers had just collapsed. Fuel had touched $146 a barrel, the highest that fuel prices had ever reached in the last 150 years. We were the smallest airline in the country. Our largest competitor was the government of India and Air India and Indian Airlines. And we had never made money. That is the circumstance in which I came in. Secondly, fuel is about a 50%, 45 to 50% of an airline's operating cost. So imagine that you're making a building, और बिल्डिंग में जो आधा कॉस्ट है वो आप सुबह उठे, आपने न्यूज़पेपर खोला और वो 3 गुना बढ़ गया. That is exactly what happened to us. We literally opened the newspaper and we saw that fuel had shot up from $50 to $60 to $146. Right? And in those days, when I took on that role, Indigo had $9 million of cash left in its books. It's in those circumstances that I took on the airline. So like every good drama, every good movie, it starts off from that crisis. Right? And if you ever met a lawyer, lawyers love crisis. वो पहले crisis create करते हैं, फिर उसके बाद आपको solution बनाते हैं. So when I step back, and I don't think I knew it at that time so much, but when I look back and when I talk to entrepreneurs and leaders and team leaders, the first question that I encourage that we ask ourselves is, what is our one big objective? I asked myself that same question in August of 2008, the 1st of August 2008, when I took on the CEO role. And the way I answered it, or we answered it for ourselves, is not that it has to become the world's fastest growing airline, or the largest airline, or the most profitable airline. All of which it did, by the way. But whether it was 2008 of Indigo, or whether it is 2020 in the middle of the pandemic when Vinay and I decided, with the support of Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, it was his death anniversary yesterday, start Akasa, the way we answered it was to say, we are in this journey to prove that low cost has nothing to do with low quality. You can be ferociously cost conscious and yet build an operationally excellent business.
The JBN Power Conclave 2025 was about much more than dialogues and panel discussions. The engaging interactions also brought vibrant moments of glamour, inspiration, The evening came alive with captivating performances by celebrated artists, adding a touch of culture, celebration, and unforgettable energy. In the next episode of Pagariya JBN Power Conclave, we will bring you highlights from other key sessions held through the 3-day Power Packed event.